Silver Wolf TV. What's going on? OG Nitty, what's happening?
Hey man, what's going on, man? What's happening, YouTube? Well, I really wanted to really go back a little bit with y'all because I normally talk about prison, but I also wanted to talk to y'all about some of my life experiences as a kid and first getting off the porch, so to speak. You know, because I looked up to the guys who I seen, with the big cars and the jewelry and the best looking women, So when I got of age and just refused to be denied of my entry to the game, I finally got to hang with, older dudes. And I could definitely say, man, that these dudes was real gangsters and they was real killers. And although the dude I mentioned to y'all, Black, taught me, really groomed me about the murder game, right, and the do's and don'ts of it. It was really just with these guys. I was taught. I'm gonna say I was taught to be somebody who would not show my intentions on my face, and it brings it back to a story. And I believe I was like, I could have been no more than 14 at the time. And I'm hanging out with the older guys, like I said, the older gangsters. And I remember it was four of us, including myself. And at this particular time, we had walked. We had walked through the malls, and we took pictures, we shopped, we went and ate. But we did other things that I was unconscious of. Things that was actually the biggest part of this story. One of the things we did, we went to Kmart's. It used to be a store back then, called Kmart's. And I remember them getting gas cans. Later on, after I remember how this shit unfolded. And I remember us stopping past a gas station. All this was harmless, I thought at the time. Um, Also, I didn't realize that we wasn't in either any of their cars, right? So we it got to the point that we riding around and we done had all this fun, and it's starting to get a little dark. Maybe around like this time, right? Maybe around about this time because this looked like it was about the same light. However, as we was going on this big parking lot, and I won't mention the name of the companies and stuff like that, right? As we was going on to this big parking lot behind these buildings, I remember them turning the music up. And as they turned the music up, it was like I'm having fun. I'm hanging out with older fellas. I didn't holler at women that was older than me, and they was giving me some attention, right, at being their age. And then in an instant, I heard this gigantic boom, like it's like something had exploded. And I remember the white flash, the white, it was like this big bright light. And then I remember seeing these little like dust particles. Because there was smoke inside the car. And I remember seeing these little dust particles. And I really, at the time, I guess, I don't know if it was due to my age or whatever, I didn't realize that was a gunshot. And I'm still in kind of a daze, so to speak, and my ears was ringing, right? And the car had stopped. I could hear the music, but it sounded like faded. And so I turned to the guy, one of the older guys, one of the older gangsters. I turned to him to really try to find out what was going on. And I noticed he was kind of lifted up off the seat. His butt was at least, had to be down, I'm looking back, had to be anywhere between about 4 to 6 inches above the seat, and his head was kind of back in the corner. Then I realized the whole back of the window shield was red. So when this was going on, the car started moving, but I'm still kind of like dazed, like as to what the fuck just happened. And I never forget it as the smoke started clearing out the car or something, and the particles. I instantly got this overwhelming fear, like, oh shit, like, did they miss me and hit him? I don't know what the hell just happened, but I can hear the music more clearly now, and I remember a guy, which I will only name as Black. I remember him turning around and offering me a stick of chewing gum. And I was just kind of like stern. Like, I don't know if I was going into shock or what, but I was stern, and they kept going. So we was in this kind of car where, you had to lift up the back seat. It was a coupe, so you had to lift up the back seat. The front seat, in order for the back passenger to get out. And so, as me and him are walking across the parking lot, the driver, I kind of glimpsed back over my shoulder, and he's pouring gasoline on the car and on the person that's inside the car. And he was doing this with such normalcy. Like, he did this almost every day. So I remember the guy Black asked me one specific question. He said, I guess you wonder why I did that. And so, me being still scared at the time, I said, no. I said, no, I ain't wonder why. So he said, you're alive. He said, I know that you're wondering why. And so I just wanted to give him the right answer, because even as I got out the car, and you know how you had to get out the back seat, you go head first. And I remember getting out the car, and at this time my mother was already deceased. And I remember a longing for my mother, wanting to, say, hey, Ma, come save me, right? But I didn't cry, anything like that. So as we was walking, the parking lot, he said, I'm gonna tell you something. He said, motherfuckers are like that, they're snakes. He said, this fucking coward waited until, and he mentioned the other person's name, went to the penitentiary to try to holler at his wife. He said, you know that's a rule with us. You keep your dick out of this thing here we got. You keep your dick out there, their baby mamas, their wives, their main girls, because nothing good can come of that. And it's like, he said the fact that he waited showed that he would do anything and that he wasn't to be trusted. He said, just like all snakes, you kill them. That was a lesson I never forgot. And even around some of the ones that I had around me and that I groomed, I really instilled that into them.